kind of person wears a whole house on one wrist, then gets punched for a living? This one is way cheaper than the rest, so it only works if you want an extra early step before the real money shows up. McGregor gifted a Sky Dweller publicly, and the reported value lands around 25 grand. Nice watch, obviously, but on this list, it's basically pocket change that wandered into the wrong room. This is the funny fake out. Mayweather has worn watches that cost the price of a mansion, and also his own branded Hublot collab that's tiny money by his standards. It works as a reset beat in narration, because with Floyd, even the normal flex still costs more than a lot of cars. This one was literally tied to Fury's fight with Usyk, so the branding is about as subtle as a ring walk with pyrotechnics. The fun part is that it shows how modern fighter watches aren't just jewelry, they're event merch for people with terrifying budgets. At 300 grand, it's expensive, but in this lineup, it's basically the warm-up round. McGregor's GQ Essentials clip showed a custom Patek, but he has also been repeatedly photographed in hard-to-miss Richard Milles like the RM1103 McLaren. This is where the list starts shifting from iced-out theater into actual modern watch nerd heat. Richard Mille is basically the official uniform of rich athletes who want their wrist to look like a race car dashboard. This slot is the one I'd cut first in edit if you want a stricter pure boxer list, because the ownership trail is clearer on non-boxing athletes than fighters. I'm including it only as a caution marker while building a longer ranking, not as a must-publish card. If you want zero debate, drop this and keep the rest. McGregor wore this to the Roadhouse premiere because of course he did. It plays the Godfather theme and looks less like a watch and more like a tiny mafia prop department on your wrist. Honestly, this is the perfect starter entry for a list that gets way more unhinged. McGregor also owns the Epic X Bridges, which tells you his watch taste runs straight at "look at me" and never checks the brakes. Same price tier as the Godfather, but a totally different vibe. More technical flex, less movie villain cosplay. And yes, 2 Connor watches already, because combat sports people do not believe in subtlety. Now we're in proper lunatic territory. Mayweather bought this $1 million Hublot during a Dubai spree, and the wild part is that it wasn't even his final boss watch. This is also a great reminder that Floyd's taste isn't only diamonds, he likes watches that announce themselves from across the zip code. This is another one I'd keep in research notes, not necessarily in the final render. GQ explicitly said the $1 million Hublot was Mayweather's second 7-figure watch, which is useful context, but the exact other model isn't nailed down cleanly enough for an object-first card. Good fact, weak card, so I'd skip it in the published version. And there it is, the card this whole list is really driving toward. Mayweather's Jacob & Comer Billionaire cost $18 million, came loaded with 260 carats of emerald-cut diamonds, and basically exists to end arguments before they start. My favorite detail is that this thing doesn't just top most athlete watch lists, it kind of vaporizes them.